news.
New information has just been released.
We must start acting now to preserve our environment and actively make a change to sustain our home for future generations.
Today's visitors, Kaya, Zara and Miani, are environmentalists from 2021. They have provided a film of what our future holds. This will be shown after the break on what I think is called an iPad.
If we don't make a significant change now, then soon this is what our world will become.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale. Our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon. The world's people have spoken. Their message is clear. Time is running out.
The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now is 50% higher than it was in 1900. And not only are we piling in more and more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but we are chopping down the forests of the earth at a great rate. And the forests themselves are the most efficient consumers of carbon dioxide that there are on Earth. We're going to destroy the ground because the soil of a rainforest isn't very good. We are actually tampering with the climate of the Earth and with the very atmosphere that we breathe. When we talk about the disappearance of the ozone layer, we don't know what will happen when the ozone layer goes. The world has become so fragile that we cannot subject the Earth to the tortures we can now inflict upon it. When we talk about the greenhouse effect, we're talking about something that affects the entire Earth. And these problems are life and death problems. They go to the root of the viability of the planet itself. If there's one thing that is biologically certain about the human species is that it is a human species, one species.
If we don't stop the destruction of our natural world, nothing else will matter. Simply put, if we don't protect nature, we can't protect ourselves.
The only way we can solve a problem is by a human solution. Never can we sit back and wait for miracles to save us. Miracles don't happen. Sweat happens. Efforts happens.
I'm Ella.
And I'm Pearl.
Today we will be talking with some environmentalists from around Australia about how we can ensure that the world has a sustainable and prosperous future.
Welcome Kaya, Zara and Miani, environmentalists from the future, who are here to explain what the clip you have just seen means and more.
What do you have to say for today's Sunday news in the 1960s?
Our goal is to get the message of the future across to the past or the present. We will be informing what the future has come to, and we'll try to get the message of what we can do to prevent this.
I'll be first informing you all about the Earth and its 4 spheres, as well as how we can maintain them for our future. The 4 different spheres provide us with all of the elements and nutrients like water, mining, resources, and many more. These are kept very close to many people, either economically, culturally, or socially.
And what value do these spheres hold? How do they connect?
Each of the 4 spheres, the hydrosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere, connect to each other, whether it is through cycle or through the Earth's needs. For these reasons, biomes were formed, and this is where it all makes sense to why these spheres are important to contain.
Animals, plants, and humans become so reliant on all of the resources that the Earth produces for us. If we don't care for it in the right way, now we will only end up with what we have in the future. They are only waiting for when the world can't take it anymore.
Now, what are these biomes you have stated? What significance do they hold? And what do they need to be sustained so that we don't actually end up living like those in the 21st century?
Well, our planet consists of 5 major biomes: forest, tundra, desert, aquatic, and grassland. Starting off with the forest biome. Forest biomes occupy around 1/3 of the Earth's land. This biome contains about 70% of the carbon in living things. They are held at a high value for religious cultures. This biome is important due to the large amount of wildlife that it holds in our planet.
Due to this, there are a large number of threats that face it, such as deforestation, urbanization, pollution, and climate change. Secondly, we can move on to aquatic biomes. They are generally classified on the amount of salt in the water to see whether the water is fresh or salt. Some typical freshwater areas are lakes and streams, whereas salt would be the ocean.
Biomes hold a lot of value as it contains most of the Earth's area, holding millions of wildlife. This area is very prone to threats such as pollution and global warming. This is causing things such as beautiful coral to die and the population of fish to decrease.
Tundra, being the coldest biome, is known for its frost-modded landscapes and incredibly low temperature ranges, low rainfall and poor nutrients. It is very unknown to many people, and yet it is extremely vulnerable to things such as pollution, climate change, creating issues such as melting the ice caps, etc.
Deserts are a biome which receive very little rainfall and can often be classified as hot, dry, and empty. Deserts also have extremely cold winters and can be found as arid. Deserts can be seen as a tough and resistant biome, although there are killers such as global warming and pollution. This is causing the desert to become a lot more polluted and increasingly hot.
Grasslands are a significant biome which are covered by grasses rather than trees or shrubs. This biome is home and provides many nutrients for both the flora and fauna of the land. Grasslands are amazing vast fields of grass and flowers.
But did you know that these biomes hold the key to a balanced world? And if we don't take care of them and learn their value on Earth, then the world will be ruined.
As we've learned, the biomes of the world are very important. Therefore, if we don't protect them, disaster will occur.
Now, what are some ways that we can help prevent our world from dying due to our mistakes?
There are many simple ways everyone can help. Some easy alternatives to plastic, which ruins the ecosystem and kills animals that are important for our environment, could be using metal straws and using reusable bags not made of plastic. To help minimize and put a stop to the pollution, global warming, deforestation, it all starts with us. The real question is, do you want to be part of this movement and save our future generations? Do you want to see a happier and better future?
We now know how important the biomes are to our future and their impact on all lives of the planet.
But could you tell us what value they have and why they impact our day-to-day lives and overall lifestyle?
All 5 major biomes consist of 3 important values. Firstly, we have the utility value, which is the economic value of life. For instance, our forest biome provides us business with giving paper.
Secondly, we have the intrinsic value, which includes the popular, well-known natural landscapes, for example, our Great Barrier Reef. This is a natural landscape that brings in tourists, which brings in business as well.
Thirdly, we have the heritage value, which is the cultural side of things, and the different biomes, which include many various cultures. A great example of this is the Torres Strait Islanders and the Aboriginals who come from the land, and their biomes consist of aquatic and forest.
Hopefully you have paid close attention to what our guests have said today.
And remember, for a safe and prosperous future, we must start acting now.
That's all, folks. Thanks for listening.
And have a good night.